PvP should have ranked. The sooner the better. Alright, let's hear them out. Gentlemen, before you blast me for Yeertski, consider this. I understand the gripes with making a super fun game competitive, see League of Legends. It comes with a plethora of problems. But hear this. Those will all be outweighed by the player engagement and retention. Okay, interesting. I have a point on that, but let's continue. This will supercharge the income of the developers and hopefully, assuming the funds are used well, will supercharge the content for the other aspects of the game. I mean, fair point, I guess. And if it doesn't, then it wasn't going to go that direction anyway on either side. It's a positive for the game as a whole, and even will create a super feral section of the player base. Okay. Ask yourself, do you want this game to last as long as possible? In this sea of Concord clones? Get the devs to add ranked. So, it's under my impression that not a lot of people want ranked. I think adding ranked isn't entirely necessary. However, I do believe what we need is a leaderboard. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Like, let's say you end a match with 2,000 points. Well, there's 2,000 points to your leaderboard. What I am suggesting is a way to, definitely what this guy's talking about, player engagement and retention. So big number goes up, people are going to be wanting to, increase their leaderboard ranking. And if you quit games, guess what? You don't get any points. If you stay in the games, but it's a loss, you'll still get your points. Now, it won't be as much as the winning team, obviously, but I think that is all we really need to increase player engagement is something simple like a leaderboard. And I think it goes both ways, like if you play a lot, then you will rise in the leaderboard. If you win a lot, you'll get some extra points. Maybe you'll rise in the leaderboard. But if you don't play too much, then it's not really like, you're not losing out on anything. It's simply just a way to keep track of, again, player engagement and retention. It will definitely help players get more involved in playing PvP. Now, I love PvP where it's at. It's fun. It's very, very fun. I don't want it to be extra competitive. However, it would be nice if there was something to work towards. So, honestly, I was looking at the roadmap. It said nothing about a leaderboard. So, I don't know. A very simple leaderboard would be really helpful. And not to mention, it will also help with people who are disconnecting. People who leave games early. If they leave games, guess what? They're not getting any points. So they're not going to rise up in the leaderboard. Even if you take an L, you will still be getting points on your leaderboard. So then it'll help keep players in the game, you know what I mean? Too many times do you see games where it's like, oh, it's like 100 to it's like 100 points to maybe like 50 points, and then you see like one player leave on the other team, and then it's just like, oh, well, game's over. So, I personally believe a leaderboard will do more for the game than ranked would. But yeah, like let's say you're playing a game, you end the game with 1,000 points. You're the lowest on your team. However, you're still getting 1,000 points onto your leaderboard status, So every game you're playing, it still helps you get better, but then it also helps you, increase your ranking. So it's more like a casual ranking rather than a sweaty one, and then you also won't have people just disconnecting games and stuff like that. So it's not as serious as ranked, but it's just as engaging, I would love something like that. I just want to see how many points that how many points I gained throughout my entire PvP, experience. But either way, yeah, I'm going to see what people are saying about ranked, but that is my idea for it. I think what we have on the roadmap is great. I did hear them say they were going to add even more stuff to the roadmap, so I think a leaderboard would be one of the easiest ways to increase player engagement for PvP. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video. I just wanted to kind of put out the idea of that. Maybe, maybe the devs will see it or something, who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna see what people are saying about ranked modes. Let me know in the comments, but a leaderboard would definitely help. I think a ranked mode would be a good addition. Casual's only fun for so long. It would be good to have a ranked grind on the side as an option. It wouldn't ruin the casual aspect if it was separated. Just keep the casual as it is and add a ranked mode that doesn't clash. Either way, I'm sure multiplayer will be more entertaining as the roadmap progresses. Yeah, for sure. I mean, people just want a little extra, you know. We need something to work towards. Ranked is fine. I don't know. I just think ranked kind of loses its meaning when it's, you know, the game's already kind of not taken too seriously. So like for example, like a ranked Elden Ring PvP situation. Like, even the ranks we have in Elden Ring PvP aren't very, like, you know, people don't really take seriously. So I don't know. I would like something more inviting, you know. Like, I feel like ranked would also turn people off, whereas a leaderboard's just extra and it would just cover everybody, you know what I mean? Like, if you care about winning, if you care about your leaderboard score, you are getting those benefits. If you don't care about it, then no big deal, you're not missing out on anything, you know. You don't really want to grind the game, so you're not going to rise up on a leaderboard for it. But I don't know. It's interesting. Just keep the casual as it is. Yeah, the casual aspect of Space Marine 2 PvP, I feel like will always be there. You know, it's never gonna be like. Don't get me wrong. I think there's some great gameplay loops in the PvP, and it would be less casual if we had, you know, more incentives. At the same time, though, like I don't know that. We need certain players, not all the time, but there's one or two players who just aren't paying attention to objectives. They don't know what they're doing, and they're like level 12 or something, and it's just like they're just doing their own thing. In a team-based game, we can't be that casual, you know? So there has to be something to give us a little bit of an, you know, to give us something to work towards. I would love a leaderboard. Ranked mode is just, I don't know. I don't know if it invites more player engagement, you know, for a game like this at the moment. But you know what? We'll see. Not every game needs a ranked Mega Sweat competitive play. This is Gears of War Max Payne 3 type multiplayer. Oh my god, Max Payne 3 multiplayer. Oh my god. I have not heard about that in a long time. Just sit back and enjoy. Yeah. Well, see, that's exactly why I feel like the leaderboard is the best option, because then you don't have to sweat over it. It's just like, oh, great, leaderboard number goes up. I have mixed feelings. On one hand, it'll be cool to have rank progression. On the other, it'll bring out all of the toxicity, and this sub will just be inundated with X is OP post every time someone loses. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I read that word right, but they are right about the it would bring out the toxicity in the community. And like, yeah, everyone's gonna be dude, honestly though, when it comes to balance, it's pretty good. Anybody who's really going to be like, oh, this is OP, if it's not like shock grenades, they're gonna just be told to get good or whatever. I personally don't think the gameplay is deep enough to warrant a ranked playlist. Not to mention, there's definitely not enough maps to justify a competitive scene. I don't understand. Okay, so look, we hopefully will get more maps down the line, you know. I think they pretty much already confirmed at least one new map. Frankly, I think the fact that we have less maps makes it easier for people to learn the map layout, and in turn would actually be better for a ranked scene. Like, come on. All the BRs that, you know, act like they're competitive BRs, they have one map, man. I know they have like different areas of the map and stuff, and it's a giant map as well. But still, it's something familiar. I feel like a familiar map is better than just be like, oh, we have 20 maps. Look how competitive this is. Like, it doesn't seem to be very relevant. If the maps are easy to learn, then that means people are going to understand the game better. And I feel like that's just better for the game rather than just to have like a handful of maps for practically no reason. But of course I want more maps. I'm just saying, only having 3 maps isn't going to kill our competitive scene. It's not. It doesn't seem like a very relevant element. However, the gameplay is not deep enough to warrant a ranked playlist. I'm going to have to disagree. I do think this game has some pretty good team strategy around it, but it's very simple, you know? Like, if you don't have a tactical on your PvP team, you should probably talk that out and figure out who can run tactical. You know, something like that. Besides, Warhammer's competitive scene is more in the actual war game than it's the video game. Yeah. So I understand that. But I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to have some crossover. I just want some incentive. We don't really need a ranked playlist. I don't really agree with these reasons why we don't have one. But at the same time, I don't think we need a ranked playlist. So like, essentially, I do kind of agree, I guess. I just really need some incentives. No, I don't really need them, but like I'm saying, the community as a whole, for sure, definitely should look into something like a leaderboard instead of ranked. The leaderboard is more accessible, you know. Ranked may be a bit too complicated.